Hi guys, it's me Lindy. So this is part 3 of my lockdown story. Check it out and enjoy. Okay, and then like after about two blood transfusions. Yes, that's how much blood I lost. After 2 blood transfusions, I I heard that I had to go to Tygerberg Hospital because the doctors at Karel Bremer weren't able to help me at that point. So I had to go to Tygerberg Hospital, and so they took me to Tygerberg with the ambulance, and that, guys, was like one of the worst nights of my life. Just as I'm hating needles, they took every moment to stuck a needle in me, take blood, stuck a needle in me, take more blood. As they're giving blood, they're taking blood. So that was quite hectic. And I was at a point where I don't like screaming at people, but I was at a point where I wanted to scream at the doctors and just tell them to leave me alone because I was hurting so much, and now they wanted to put in more needles into my body. And so I legitimately like slept 2 hours during that whole night, and every few hours doctors would come in and just take blood samples to test it and see what's wrong with me. And so that night I went through a lot of pain, went through a lot of things that I was so uncertain about. And the next morning I actually got in a little bit of sleep, and the next morning I woke up with my dad standing next to me beside my bed. And I was so happy to see him. Sorry guys. I was so happy to see him because I felt that there's hope. If my dad's there, then there will be hope. And when I think back on that day now, I realized that my dad being there through it all made me realize that God was there through it all, because God gave us dads so that we can realize and know what God's love is like, and it's so that his love can be shown to us as young kids. And I absolutely feel like this is what my dad was here for, and why he is here still. Like, he just shows me God's love in every possible way that he can. And at that point I really just needed that. I needed to feel that comfort. I needed to feel that everything's gonna be okay. And just with his presence there, like, he had to go work, guys. It was 6 a.m. in the morning, and he had to go work, but he came to me first. And that showed me that we are God's first priority. We are God's first priority. You are God's first priority every single day. And he loves you so much, and he wants to hear from you and hear how you are feeling every day. And yeah, that was just like that moment for me, and just talking to my dad was so amazing, even though I felt tired at that moment as well. And then my dad had to go because they were starting to take tests on me again, and take blood samples again and stuff like that. And my dad can't handle that. He can't handle people hurting me. And he knew that they were hurting me, but he knew that it was necessary. That's why he left. And that also reminds me, now that I'm thinking about it, that sometimes you are going through stuff and God knows that it's hurting you. He knows that it's hard for you. He knows that you can't handle it, that you are struggling. But he's leaving you in that because you are going to come out so much stronger. You are going to be so beautiful. You're going to bloom after that. So yeah, sorry guys. A lot of serious talk today, I know. But please hang in with me. This is a story of hope and not of sadness, and I have to share it with you. You guys have to listen. If you don't want to, it's fine, but like I have to tell this. Anyway, so the whole day, so my dad went home, and not home, he actually went to go work, and the whole day was full of doctors taking tests, and it was painful and sore, and all I could do was just lay there and let them stick needles inside of me to take the tests. But something that gave me so much peace was my mom standing next to me through it all. And this reminded me of the Holy Spirit. Like, the Holy Spirit comes and he gives peace. He's there to comfort in the times where it's hard, and he stays with you always. So my mom just being there was a reminder for me that the Holy Spirit is there, and he comforts and he protects and he just holds you through the hard times. And during that day, I met the doctor that would do all the surgeries on me, Dr. H. She is such a fabulous woman, guys. She's strict, but she knows what she's doing, and I was so blessed with her during this whole thing, that with her and like every other doctor that worked with me. I couldn't explain it more, that God really gave me, even though I didn't have medical, God gave me the best doctors, and the best doctors worked with me, and yeah, I'm just so thankful for that. So that was the first day that I met Dr. Edge, and yeah, she actually came to me and my mom, and she told me that I don't have breast cancer, and I was so relieved, guys. I was so relieved. But at that moment, she didn't know what I had, so she wanted to do a surgery on me to see what I have, or what I had. Sorry, I don't have it anymore, but what I had. I came out of the surgery feeling tired, feeling as if I just went through a big battle, you know. And my parents came to visit me at that night, and all I told them was, okay, please go now, I want to sleep. And I think they thought it was funny, because they knew that the old lady is back. And yeah, so I just went to sleep, and so I stayed at the hospital for 5 more days, and for the first 2 to 3 days they struggled a bit with my temperature, because then it was too high, then it was too low. I can remember waking up at nights, shivering and getting so cold, but sweating, so it didn't make sense. My temperature was all over the place. And yeah, so, but then after 5 days, things started looking better, things started going up, and I can remember my parents coming to visit me in the hospital, and me sitting next to them, walking with them through the hall of the hospital, and me laughing at jokes that my dad tells me, and just laughing at stupid things that happens during daily life, you know. I can remember Carl coming to visit me in the hospital, and sitting on my bed, not wanting to touch my fingers because my fingers were a little bit swollen, and me telling him that you can touch my hand, you can hold my hand, I'm not gonna break. He was so sweet, guys. But just the gentleness, the softness in between, and just God like really being there through it all. So I was, after all of those eventful moments and painful moments, I didn't feel pain for the first time in about a year and a half, and that was the best feeling ever. I had a wound about this deep inside of my breast, and it was bleeding, but it wasn't draining that, it wasn't bleeding that much, and it wasn't bleeding the whole day. So I had a wound like this deep inside my breast, but I was happy because I didn't feel any pain. They didn't have to stick any needles inside of me anymore. They gave me about, after that surgery, they gave me about 5 to 7 more blood transfusions. Yeah, about 5 to 7. So I lost a lot of blood, but they also gave me a lot of blood. So guys, if you can donate blood, do it. I was always one that wanted to donate blood, but I couldn't because of the fear of needles. And now I kind of want to donate, even though I have a fear for needles, because I know how urgent it is, guys. So this is this week's video. Next week I will be going on with the story. So yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys at a good note and just, yeah, tell you guys that there is hope. God is in control. He is in control of your life. He loves you so much, and he wants to be in relationship with you. If you guys have any questions, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. Message me on Instagram, guys, and just ask me any questions. So yeah, next week again I will tell you guys what happened next. So stay tuned and just be lekker.